My name's Jules, and this is my podcast, number 28, all about knitting and sewing and all the crafty things I get up to. Today, as I just said, is Valentine's Day, so sending lots and lots of love to everybody. I've already had a lovely fruit salad made for me this morning by Pete, which was really nice. I love fruit salad for breakfast. It's probably one of my favourite breakfasts. So that was a lovely thing to wake up to, and some beautiful flowers. I live in West Sussex in England. And yeah, I think that's all I need to say. Oh, I know what I do need to say. You can find me in all the normal places, and you will find the links to them all in the bar down below under this YouTube video. I thought that was easier than just saying you can find me on Ravelry and blog and blah 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 blah. So literally all the links are down below if you're watching this on YouTube. And you can find all the show notes for this podcast on my blog, which the link is down below. So, oh my goodness, it's so nice to be back. I'm drinking my coffee in my love mug. You see the little hearts. Now, is it going to focus? Yay! Okay, it's been a while, and I didn't mean for it to be a while. It felt like everything was against me podcasting. I had to get a new laptop because my old laptop was literally on its last legs and was completely out of storage. And every time I podcast, I had such trouble. I had to delete so many things just to upload my podcast. So I decided to invest in a new one, which is lovely. But then my webcam, which I used to use for my podcasts, decided, my new laptop came with different ports to, plug the leads and things into. So then I had to buy a dongle for my laptop so that I could plug my webcam into. The webcam didn't like the dongle. They didn't get on. It didn't work at all. And I thought, oh my goodness, I didn't really know what to do. So with some help of a couple of really lovely friends, Abby Morris of Abby Morris Designs and the lovely Tracy of Nora George, gave me quite a lot of guidance. I bought a new camera, so it might take some more getting used to. I really have only just got used to my old webcam, so we'll see. So I'm recording on a new camera, which is why I wasn't sure if my little hearts were going to focus on my mug. So it's been expensive and stressful. We've had lots going on in the house. We've had work done, had a new wardrobe put in, and there's been so much decorating going on. My husband loves a project, and I've told him no more projects this year because he just loves it, and I find it stressful. Having the house upside down is my idea of hell, actually. So anyway, things are looking good. I think we should get on. Okay, two things I'd like to address before we go any further. One is what I'm wearing. This is my finished May, and I love it. And I'll talk to you a bit more about it in finished things. And can you see up here? Gosh, nothing's backwards. Everything's the right way around on this camera. That's exciting. Can you see this? I'll give you a close-up of it. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take a photo and I'll put a picture in here so you can see. I had this idea of having some kind of wall art, really. And I love self-striping gobstoppables. I mean, I really, really love them. And those of you who have been watching or following me for a while, probably on Instagram more. Oh no, I've shown a little video on here of my mug cubby, which I had designed when we built our kitchen. And I thought, that would work with yarn. So I found a lovely guy on Etsy who made this up for me as per requirements, yarn size basically. And I love it so much. It came unpainted, and actually Pete painted it for me. I was going to, but he said, well, should I paint that? He loves painting. Yeah, fine. And I love it so much. It's amazing and it's perfect, and I think I need some more fairy lights around it. So they're the two things I wanted to address, and I shall leave the link of the guy who made this in my show notes on my blog, so if anyone's interested. Okay, I need some coffee. Already I feel I've spoken far too quickly. Nice. Decaf coffee with oat milk, if anyone's interested. Okay, I think we should get on with finished things. Okay, so this is my lovely May. I don't really know what it is. It's kind of like a tunic, I guess. I'm going to stand up and see if I can show you. It's got a lovely V. Can you see that? I hope so. A lovely V back, and the back is quite much longer, quite a lot longer than the front. I hope you can hear me too. It has really cute, like little ribbed sleeves. Has a lovely V, and it has this. Let me see if I can give you a close up. It has this lovely stitch detail, slip stitches down the front, and it's just really cute and very wearable. It's the kind of thing that I enjoy wearing. It's nice and loose. It kind of just glides over my body, which is really nice. Doesn't stick to any parts that I don't want it sticking to. So let me tell you a bit about it. Get comfy again. So I knit this out of the little Tailors yarn. That's the beautiful Amy. That's her label. And I knit it with one strand of her DK, which is 100% superwash merino, and one strand of her kid mohair and silk blend, which is a lace weight in the peignoir colourway, and I absolutely love this colourway. I feel like I need a cardigan in this colourway, a dress in this colourway. I've already painted a shelf in my hall this colourway. I feel like I'm addicted, but it's such a pretty, I hope it's picking up nicely, it's such a pretty, warm, soft grey pink. It's beautiful. Amy's colours are beautiful, just like Amy. I can't remember what needle sizes I used, but it will be on my Ravelry notes for my May. Do I need to tell you anything else? Can't even remember what size I made actually, but if anyone's interested, just ask and I'll look at my pattern and let you know. But I absolutely love it. I think I'll wear it a lot, and I love the fuzziness of it. It's so cozy looking. I don't know if it's going to pick up the fuzzy. Let's see. Kind of see the fuzzy here. This is so pretty and very wearable, as I said. So I think I'll be getting lots of wear out of it. And I love this detail. This was a three needle bind off, which was new to me. Normally you do it from so the seam shows on the inside, but this is a really nice detail so that it shows up on the outside. And I did alternate skeins as well, so quite proud of myself for doing that, because it is a bit more of an effort, but I'm glad I did. So that's my May. Okay, next up are, I have quite a lot of finished objects. These are my bed socks. And this is a complete copy, really. The lovely Amy, who's Amy Florence of Stranded Dye Works, made some bed socks, I think for her mum for Christmas. And she held a strand of mohair and a strand of just normal fingering weight together and came up with these beautiful socks. And I saw them and I thought, gosh, I need to make some of those. So this is my version. Super pretty. I love those colours. So the yarn again was the little Tailoress in, I think it was a sock set in light fingering weight. And I seem to remember it was called Crocus, which would make sense if you see the colours. They were much more vibrant. They look a bit paler on here because I added a strand of cream mohair. I think it was Wendy Air or something like that. Yeah, so this was a beautiful sock set that Amy gifted me quite a long time ago. I think when she first started dyeing. And it was so pretty, but I wasn't quite sure what to do with it because it was a light fingering and I hadn't been knitting that long myself. So I just put it away and I thought one day I'm going to find the perfect project for this. And so it worked out really well for these because I used a strand of fingering, this light fingering, and a strand of mohair, and it was perfect. And I knit, I think, all the details are on my Ravelry page, but I think I think I knit 60 stitches and a 2.5 needle, I think, but don't quote me on that. If you want to know properly, go and have a look at my Ravelry page because that will be right. And I used the bob sock design, which I really love. This is the design with the little garter stitch all the way down. I use this so much. I think it's just such a pretty detail and it's so simple. As I said before, I'm not good at vanilla socks, so this just breaks it up a little bit. And I did my usual whirlwind toe. Oops, let's see if I can show you that a bit better. There we go. And I did a fish lips kiss heel and I think a 1x1 twisted rib by the looks of it. So yes, and here's the other one. These have been finished quite a long time. So that shows you how long I haven't podcast for, doesn't it? My gorgeous little bunny blockers there. I think that's everything I need to say about those. So third of the needles is this really cute pair of socks for a special friend of mine. She's actually my physio and my Pilates teacher and a very lovely friend who I've known a long time now, and she means a lot to me, and I just wanted to show her by making her something special for her birthday. So these are prairie. This is the stitch pattern of the prairie socks by the gorgeous Kay Jones. The original pattern is knit cuff down, but I always like knitting my socks toe up. So I started off with my usual favourite of a whirlwind toe. And I did a, what's this called, a slip stitch heel. Excuse me, heel flap and gusset. Yeah, they're pretty kind of standard, I guess. I knit them on 64 stitches, and she has a size 5 foot, so I went on a shoe shop website, and luckily they had foot measurements for the different sizes of shoes, so I found out how long in centimetres a size 5 foot was, so that worked out well. So I'm really hoping they're going to fit, but they're very pretty. Let me give you a close-up. Pretty yarn. And the yarn is from Cauldron of Colours, and it is Aunt Jane's Cottage Garden. and it's 75% merino, 25% nylon. It was part of a range that Sarah dyed, all about Miss Marple. So I love Miss Marple. So good. So there we go, and there's the other one. So they'll be ready to be given to her. It didn't take me very long to knit actually. I was on a time frame for these, so it really got me focused and I whizzed through them. But they're very pretty. I love Kay's Prairie Socks pattern as well. It's one of my favourites. Okay, so the last, I think, the last of my finished items are the most expensive socks in the world. And look, you can see green. Green works. Oh, I love my new camera. It shows green. So these are my most expensive socks in the world, and I talked about this on my last podcast, so I won't go into it in too much detail. I'll just tell you about the socks. So there we go, normal toe for me, which is the whirlwind toe, and you'll find a link to that toe on the project page in Ravelry. And I did a fish lips kiss heel, but I did it in garter stitch, and I love that, and it goes really well with this garter stitch panel that runs through the sock. So I'm really pleased with that, and it feels nice, and it feels a tad more stretchy actually, which might be quite useful. And this yarn, if it wasn't knit up, would be on this gorgeous shelf. It was a beautiful gobstopper yarn ball from Scrumptious Pearl. I love Scrumptious Pearl. This is such a beautiful, beautiful colour, and it's called A Bushel and a Peck, and it's so pretty, and it knits up so beautifully. And I also got the contrast colour. I really love having a contrast colour, because it makes it so much easier with stripes, because then you can do a fish lips kiss heel or a different heel without disturbing the stripes. So I'm so glad to have these off the needles. They have been on quite a while because they were my kind of going out car knitting, waiting around knitting. But I love them, and I knit them on 2.25, 64 stitches. I don't think there's anything else I need to say about them, except that I did the lovely Bob Socks design again by Louise Tilbrook, and I love it. So that's all my finished things in the making. So I have, how many things? 3 things in the making. I've been getting through quite a few whips lately, so I'm looking forward to starting some new things, although I've been getting quite a bit of pain in my wrist, my hand, and my inside of my wrist. I think it might be too much knitting, so I may have to have a little break, which is going to be painful, but I guess I could sew. It's a different action, isn't it, sewing? So maybe I could sew. Well, I have so many knitting plans though, it's quite annoying. But never mind. Okay, I'm going to step back again because I have something that is almost finished to show you. Ta-da! This is quite a long-standing whip, and it's my door pullover, and I love it so much. The colours are gorgeous. As you can see, I've just got this cuff to finish. Whoops, this cuff to finish, and I have to do the neckband. This is all the yarn I have left, but I think it will be enough. So that's got a little bit scary, but it's fine. And it's so pretty. Let me see if I can show you a bit better. It has lovely deep splits at the side. So that's the only part that's stitched up from the armpit. I think it was 5 inches. And then all this is open, both sides. and it's also, oh, it's quite tricky to show. Let me show you this way around without the yarn. And it's longer at the back than it is at the front. I like that look. I think it's quite flattering. It's knit from, I'm going to get my chair back. It's knit out of Cozy Posy Yarn Co. in the strawberry wine colourway, I think. Yeah, I'm sure it is. And that's the yarn company owned and run by the gorgeous Antonella of Antonella Makes Podcast. Her yarn, by the way, is absolutely stunning. This is so pretty. Look at the variegation. There's lovely coral and pink and dusky kind of plum colours, cream. It's absolutely beautiful, and I can't recommend her yarn highly enough. Even though she's my friend, it's wonderful. So yeah, I'm nearly done on this, and this was knit in 375mm for the body and 3.5mm for the cuffs. I hope I haven't been not looking at you, if that makes sense. I've got a viewfinder at the top of my camera, and so it's really tempting to look into the little filming of me rather than the lens. So do excuse me if I've forgotten to do that, but I'll try and look into the lens, into your eyes from now on. So yes, I love it. I've got these stitch markers here and here and here. I do this in the shops all the time, looking along the rails, and they all fall off. Because I had, for some reason, I had quite a big gap on either side, but I'll stitch those up and it won't be a problem. So I'm so excited. So maybe on my next podcast, I might be wearing this one. You never know. But it's beautiful, really beautiful. And I'm so glad to have it nearly finished. So that's my first in the making. Gosh, I'm in a mess already. It doesn't take long. We have a quick sip of coffee. I hope you're all having a lovely Valentine's Day. It's no big deal in our house, actually. I got Pete some beer and a card, and I'll take him out a nice coffee after I finish podcasting and just do nice things. And we've just brought our supermarkets here in the UK do kind of meal deal where you get a starter, a main, a side, a dessert, and some kind of drink, and sometimes chocolates as well. So we're having that tonight. So that's really exciting. So I don't need to cook, which will be a bonus. Right. Okay, next in the making is, so I only started these, what's today, Wednesday. I started them Monday night because I had to take my mum to hospital yesterday, and I knew it would be a long wait, and I wanted something to keep me entertained. So another pair of stripy socks. This time I've kind of done the bob socks thing. Oh, hello. I've kind of done the bob socks thing, but I've done a panel of, let me see if I can get you close up. So for these, instead of doing the garter stitch panel, I've just done a little panel of moss stitch, which I think looks really cute. It kind of wrinkles up a little bit, but once it's on your foot, there we go. So I started those on Monday night and worked on them at the hospital yesterday. My mum had an appointment to, well, she's got to have her cataracts removed from her eyes, and it was just the appointment before that, you know, to do lots of checks and things, and we were there for nearly 3 hours. So I did get quite a lot of knitting done, and thank goodness for knitting, because it's so boring, isn't it? Anyway, I'm the taxi driver, so I had to be there to take her. Excuse me. So these socks are knit out of Fab Funky Fibres, and it's the colourway Country Garden. She does lots of really nice self-striping colourways. You can see the colours. Oh, I love that my camera can see green. It's just amazing. So these are the colours. Again, I always knit my socks on 2.25 and 64 stitches. So they're just bumbling along, and I think they will probably be my, because I dare say we'll have more hospital appointments quite soon. So they'll be my waiting around passenger in the car knitting. And I'm thinking I might, oh, I'm in a tangle. And I'm thinking I might use this Baronvilla leftover as the heel because I haven't got a contrast. So I think that might work quite well. So that's those. I'm going to finish my coffee today before it gets cold. Good, and it wasn't even cold. Okay. Oh, I didn't say, did I? This is in my lovely bag from my friend Antonella, and it's so cute. It's Liberty fabric with little ladies and peacocks and deer. It's just a sweet bag. And the next project is in my Sweet Sparrow project bag, which is so cute. From the lovely Julie of Sweet Sparrow Yarns. And I surprised myself with this project. Okay, so recently I've been inspired by lots of people doing colour work, and one of my things that I'd really love to do this year is a colour work yoke sweater. So I thought I'd have a go at the Selbu mittens. I'm going to show you how far I've got. I started them and was whizzing on them, but then other things like the gift knit socks and my door, which I really want to finish, kind of took over a little bit. But this is how far I've got. Super pretty. I didn't honestly think I would be able to do it. It's very scary. Very scary thought for me. And that's the inside. I don't think my floats are terribly neat, especially at the edge, because I've been doing magic loop and it's not perfect, which is annoying. But apparently I was watching Katie of Inside Number 23, and she said blocking really sorts them out, so I'm hoping that will happen, and I really want to get back to doing some good amount of knitting on these. But it's a lovely pattern and it's actually really easy to follow. Saying that, I haven't started the thumb yet, which is a bit daunting, but I'm using, probably not going to say this correctly, but it is, oops, let me see if I can get it to focus, Rauma yarn in the Strickegarn, and I've got a lovely dusty pink and a charcoal grey, which are really pretty, and they're quite, like, I couldn't wear, ooh, no, I couldn't wear that on my skin, like on my neck, but on my hands it's fine. So yeah, so that's really exciting. And yeah, I think it's setting me up to do like a lovely colourwork yoke, which is one of my goals for this year. So that's those, and I think, is that everything in the making? I think it is. Magical arrivals. Okay, so, okay, first up, I did a collaboration with the beautiful Amy, who is Little Tailoress, and I made a Valentine bag, and she made the yarn to go with, and this is her yarn. I obviously had to keep a skein for myself. It's a sock set. I mean, how pretty is that? How pretty is that? We decided on calling it Cinder Rose. We had such big troubles thinking of a nice name for it, but it's so beautiful. And I just want to say, if you purchased one of my Valentine kits, thank you so much. I always wish I could make more, because I know lots of you would like them, and you miss out, but you know, I'm one little lady and I wish I could work faster and harder, But yeah, I can only make a certain amount, but thank you so much if you did buy one, and if you buy any of my things, thank you. I'm so thankful because it allows me to do what I love every day. So anyway, this was in the Valentine kit and it was so beautiful. Amy is some kind of magical magician. So it was a 80 gram and, or was it? No, it was 100 gram and 20 gram. Honestly, Amy does the most beautiful colours. If you want some pretty yarn, you go see her. Okay, so that was my first magical arrival. Then arrived out of the blue this beautiful bag, and I'm sure you'll all recognise that. It's from the lovely Sandy by the lakeside. Oh, I love her so much. I feel like we're very similar, and I'd really love to meet her one day. Anyway, she sent me this just out of the blue, and look at this pin. Isn't it cute? I hope... Oh. It's such a sweet pin, and this little pin was another gift I'm going to talk about in a minute. But this is one of Sandy's, what does she call them? I can't remember what she calls them, but it's like her standard design. There's nothing standard about it at all. It's beautiful. This lovely pinstripe and this gorgeous canvas with her gorgeous little faux leather tassel here. She also sent me David's tea. My absolute favourite tea in the whole world is by David. So that was such a lovely surprise. She is such a super lovely lady, so thank you, Sandy. I really love it. Oh, it's her signature bag, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, so another gorgeous surprise I had in the post was from my super lovely friend Meg, who is Wool & Cookies. That's her podcast, and I think she's Meg's favourites on Instagram. But I'll put a link in my show notes on my blog. But she sent me the sweetest package. This beautiful yarn. Look at those colours. Oh, it's so me. So pretty. And it's by Pandia's Jooles. Must be the snug base in Miss... Is that Miss Woodhouse? Please advise. I probably should know what that actually says, but I don't. Isn't that beautiful? So that will be the most gorgeous pair of socks. But she also sent me this. Oh heavens to Betsy, how pretty is this? And this will be going straight in my yarn cubby, and it's by Scrumptious Pearl. What's the name? It's called Tulpen. Tulpen. And not only this, she also sent me this mini to go with it. So beautiful. Oh, it's so lovely. So this, I'm just going to pop it on my shelf. Oh, how lovely. Oh, how pretty does that look? Yeah, so that was so sweet of her. She also sent me some lovely David's tea and lots of other little bits and pieces, including this sweet little bee. This sweet little bee pin. Oh, I feel I have such wonderful friends, and without podcasting we wouldn't have met. Well, not met, but met, you know? I know what I mean. You probably don't understand what I mean. You do know what I mean. Okay, what else? Oh yes, I treated myself I can't remember what website these were on, but they're a UK website. I treated myself to some new pins from Rifle Paper Co. Oh, how pretty. And this one because I couldn't resist. So cute. So they'll be going on my pin bag, and I will be making pin bags for my shop. I just haven't got around to it. Oops, sorry, got distracted. I haven't got around to it, but I will definitely be making pin bags for my shop. But I've got an Easter collaboration to organise first. That's exciting. Lots of really exciting things coming up for my shop, but it's a little bit quiet just at the moment. So another magical arrival is this gorgeous little Progress Keeper necklace. Let's see if I can get a nice close up. If you can see all the charms there. There's a little umbrella. There's a super sweet little blue sewing machine. And a gorgeous little bee. Anyone would think I like bees. Oops. There. I hope you can see this. And they all have a tiny little crystal as well with them. And it's on a ring, on a chain, so you can wear it as a necklace to keep all your stitch markers nice and close. And this was from a lovely friend called Leona, and she is Blue Merlin Makes, and she has a shop, and she also sent one of these for you as a giveaway. So here's a little lovely little giveaway prize. So in here you'll get a gorgeous Progress Keeper necklace, just like mine. I don't know what the charms are because it's all wrapped up in there. And some delicious toffees, and I had the toffees too, and believe me, they're very, very tasty. And so I shall be opening a thread. Let's see. I shall be opening, if I can speak, I'll be opening a thread in Ravelry to win this. The question, okay, so as it's Valentine's Day, tell me something lovely that happened to you today. That will be the question that I'd like you to answer in Ravelry. And on my next podcast, I will announce the winner for this little beauty. And of course, I'll put a link to Leona's shop on my show notes. So thank you, Leona. That was such a lovely thing to do, and I love mine so much, and I love that you personalised it for me too. It's very sweet. Okay, so we're getting there. What else do I need to talk about? Okay, so in my last podcast, I had so much to say that I ran out of time to talk about my Make 9. Make 9 is a hashtag that's, I think, just on Instagram, but that's how I know about it, where you decide on 9 things that you'd like to make. It's sewing or knitting, I believe, in 2018, and you just hashtag your post with Make 9 2018, I think. So anyway, I decided to play along, and I hope to complete my 9 chosen little garments. Oh, they're all knitted anyway. So I'd just like to show you what I would like to knit. I'll insert some pictures here while I'm chatting. So first up is The Land of Sweets cowl by Helen of Curious Handmade, and I've got lots of gorgeous minis left over from my advent calendars, so that's my first. Secondly is a colourwork yoke pullover. This is the picture I'm showing, but it might not be this particular one. It's just I'd like to knit a beautiful colourwork pullover or cardigan. Okay, the next one was inspired by a photo of a friend of mine who is on Instagram. And in her photo, she showed herself wearing a beautiful yellow cardigan. And I don't know why, but just lately, I've really been drawn to yellow. So I've had it in my mind that I'd love to knit myself a yellow cable cardigan. I think I've chosen a design. the one that I originally posted in my Make 9, I've changed my mind from, because I think I look better in a V-neck. And I am going to knit this one, which is the Glenfiddich by Anna Maria Otvos. So I'm really excited about that. Next up is Staring at Stars cardigan by Joji Locatelli. I have the yarn for this, which I bought from Beth from Beehive Yarns, and it's even wound up. So that will be my next project after I've given my hand a rest, I think. Next up is All the Love Pullover by Alicia Plummer, and this is so pretty, and I think I'll probably make it in a very similar colourway to this picture. Next up is Sock Arms by Stephanie Lotven. She has a pattern for some new mitts as well, which I've seen and are so lovely. But anyway, I'd like to knit the sock arms because I have lots of minis. I just think it'd be really, really fun to have stripy arms. Next up is May by Andrea Mowry, which I have completed. So that's a 1 ticked off. So I only have 8 makes to do. Another of them is the Pixel Rise socks. I really hope to make those. I've loved them ever since I first saw them, but I've always been put off by the colour work element in them. So I'm hoping now I have started making selbos that it'll be easy. But on socks, you know, socks need to stretch quite a lot, so I thought that was a bit challenging. So this year I shall make some Pixel Rise socks. And last but not least is the Tinsel Mitts by Andrea Mowry. I think they're so cute. I love the little, I think it must be like a slip stitch pattern on the front, similar to my May. And I love the fact that you can have a little kind of hand cozy, finger cozy to go over the top. So that's my Make 9. So that's really exciting. There's no shop news this week. I still have some pins and I think 2 sets of stitch markers and some progress keepers, but it's a bit light in there at the moment. Oh no, I have lots of Liberty butterfly hair clips, but I have lots of plans, and as I say, life's been busy, so it's been hard to kind of focus on my shop. So the shop's a little quiet, but there are lovely things in there still, and there's lots of wonderful things to come. Okay, now onto a bit of chatter. I think I've chatted enough really, but so I mentioned that we had a new wardrobe fitted. And the most exciting part for me is that I have a lovely narrow drawer to display all my hand knit socks. That is so exciting. I may try and get a tiny little video and put it in here, but if I don't, no, I will. So yeah, it's so exciting, and the drawer's big. So I don't think I've quite half filled it, and so that's exciting because I was getting a bit, oh, I don't know where to keep all my hand knit socks. So I was thinking of kind of slowing up on them, and that was sad because I love knitting socks. And so now I've got my drawer, I have opportunity to knit a lot more. Also, I will be attending Unravel this Friday. I never like to announce these things too early if I'm going or not, because I never quite know how I'm going to feel, but I think I'm feeling okay. I think I'm feeling brave. I put my big girl pants on, and yes, so I shall be going to Unravel. I'll probably get there kind of when it opens, and I'll probably be there for a couple of hours. So if you happen to be there, please come and say hi to me. I'd really love that. It will be so nice to see you. So yes, so if you see me moseying around, just come and say hi. My plan for Unravel is to buy some yellow yarn for my Glenfiddich cardigan. I'd also like to get a couple of skeins of more variegated sock yarn, you know, just the same colour but just variegations of colour, rather than, if you can see up here, ooh, up here, it's all my sock yarn, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love every single one. But sometimes, like for instance, I'm part of Helen, who's Curious Handmade, her Handmade Sock Society club. And her first pattern is a really pretty lacy pair. And I think I need more of a semi-solid for that. So I'll be looking out for some of those. And I think I'd like to get some minis also in the same vein, which are semi-solid, I think, for heels and toes. And I think really that's it. I'm not going to overspend. You heard it here. I haven't bought any yarn since before Christmas. I think that's pretty good. I know it's only the middle of February, but I'm quite chuffed with that. I think that's kind of everything I wanted to say. I've got a little video that I'm going to put at the end of this podcast of one of Mabel and I's walk. That doesn't make sense. Of a walk that Mabel and I like to take. And I just wanted to show you this beautiful tree. It's a really, really old yew tree. And it must be some kind of magical wishing tree, because quite often people tie ribbons like there's been some kind of, I don't know, ceremony, because sometimes that sounds a bit scary, but people have obviously made wishes and tied ribbons to this beautiful tree. And I love this tree, and every time I walk past it, I put my hand on it and I say, "Good morning, tree." And it just, I don't know, something, it reminds me a bit of Outlander. And in the beginning, I was quite scared. So anyway, my camera battery's flashing now. So I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello. Hello, camera. I'm here. Hello, hello. Wake up. Hello, come back to me. Come back to me.